Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome on a Sunday afternoon. Hope you had finished your lunch and finished your nap also, because this class is not to take the nap. This class is to be proactive and active, because today we are going to take up problem solving of whatever theory things we have read. Lunch done, no nap. Krishno, no nap in the class as well. Okay, very nice. Okay, so this is the class where I would have expected more students, because whatever questions they ask, most of the times when we pick up chapters, students ask that how will it come? Is it a theoretical paper or is it a practical paper? It's a practical paper, then give us some practical points, give us some practical questions to answer. So that's why this chapter is there for you to give the practical questions. But the theory was very important because we have to understand the concepts. So once we are through with the concepts, only then we can come to this chapter. That's why the structure is made in such a manner that we do the theoretical aspects, then come to this. Yes, Swati, history class gives you an app, but luckily we don't have history in our CA syllabus. Okay. So, the main objective of this class was that, yes, our syllabus is completed, so that if you have any questions on any aspects, like last time we had discussed, right, from the study material itself, whatever is the question, we picked up that question, try to interpret it, and then answer it. Similarly, if you have any questions, we can take it up, or we can straight away go with problem solving session. I have prepared quite some questions because there is only one class. We may not be able to cover all the questions. There are close to 37, 34 questions which I've prepared from various chapters. What I will do is, to the extent which is important, we will discuss here. And I will share with you these question and answers. So you should try to work it out and then cross verify whether the answers are right. So this is only a small step to help you, because lot of questions like this has to be worked out by your own self. Okay, you will have to work out, only then you will get that confidence, because what we may think that we know theoretically is fine, but what we have to do practically is possible only when we work out a lot of questions. Okay, so mostly the main questions will be on supply, input tax credit, but I've tried to make a composition of everything. We have also tried to cover exemptions. Try to cover what is value of supply, time of supply, registrations, composition scheme, everything I've tried to cover. So I will share the question PDF uploaded. I will upload it, Om Krishnam, so you don't have to kind of refer that. I will only share it over here. So this is the question. Are we trying to cover the first one? Yes. Okay. I have tried to keep the screen the broadest level of size so that you can read it. Messrs. Sorabji, a registered supplier, supplies the following goods and services for construction of buildings and complexes. Excavators for required period at a per hour rate, manpower for operation of the excavators at a per day rate. So they're giving you various supplies what this person, taxable person, is doing. Because how do I know he's a taxable person? Because in the question itself they have mentioned Sorabji is a registered supplier. He supplies the following goods. Question is not visible. Okay. Yeah. Is it visible now? So Mrs. Sorabji is a registered supplier. He supplies the following goods and services for construction of buildings and complexes. What does he supply? Excavator for required period at just one moment. Excavators for required period at a per hour rate. Manpower for operation of the excavators at a per day rate. Soil testing and seismic evaluation at a per sample rate. The excavators are invariably hired along with the operators. Okay. Similarly, excavator operators are supplied only when the excavator is hired out. So, what is the excavator? We know that that huge machinery which helps in moving goods from one place to another. They are excavators, and to operate them, it's a special machinery wherein normal labor cannot be deployed. So, they deploy special manpower. And the fourth point, what is mentioned is the excavators are invariably hired out along with the operators. So the excavators, when you give, you will generally have to give the operators along with it. So because the client may buy excavators, but he may not know how to operate it. So you have to supply the manpower. And manpower also, uh, similarly, excavator operators are supplied only when the excavator is hired out. It is not that I'm only doing a excavator operator's business, right? You cannot buy excavator from somewhere else and I give you manpower. That is not possible. I will give you a manpower only when you buy the excavator from me. Messrs. Sorabji receives the following services. So this is what he is supplying and this is what he is receiving. What does he receive? Annual maintenance service for excavators, health insurance for operators of the excavators, scientific and technical consultancy for soil testing and seismic evaluation. For a given month, the receipts of Messrs. Sorabji are as follows. Higher charges for excavators, service charge for supply of manpower for operation of the excavators, service charge for soil testing and seismic evaluation. This is the value what is received. The GST paid during the month on services received by him are as follows. This is the GST paid, very important. These are values, but these are the taxes. So you have to be very careful because tax is levied on the value, but when the value of the tax itself is given, then you will not apply the rate again on that. So GST paid will be annual maintenance for excavators, health insurance for excavator operators, scientific and technical consultancy for soil testing. These are the GST paid items. Compute the net GST payable by Messrs. Sorabji for the given month. Assume the rates of GSTs as under hiring out of excavators, 12%, supply of manpower services and soil testing, and for seismic evaluation, the rate is 18%. Opening balance of input tax credit is nil. So compute the net GST payable. You want me to minimize the question? Okay, let's do one thing. Let's work out this together. Okay. First, from this question, we understood the facts, right? That excavator is there, manpower supply is there, soil testing, and seismic evaluation. So, for the given month, the receipts of Messrs. Sorabji were higher charges for excavators. So, what is the higher charges that we will consider here? Higher charges for excavator. What is the value which has been received? 20 lakh 25,000 rupees. Okay. Now on this 20 lakh 25, you'll have to write it down. Questions, I will circulate it to you. Don't worry. Start writing out the answers in your book. Otherwise, just theoretical explanation will not help. This is a problem solving session. You will have to write it. Start with writing the question number, the client's name, or the taxpayer's name, because there may be various questions in your exams, right? So just question number one, what if you made a mistake in your question numbers? So mention the question number and the taxable person's name if they have given your question. In this case, in this present case, they have given as Mrs. Saurabh. So I will write Mrs. Saurabh. What we have to compute? Computation of gross GST liability, particulars, value received, rate of tax, and GST payable. Okay. Have enough space in your answers. That is a very important tip, because if you miss out to leave some space, and if you want to insert something there, that will not be possible. So give sufficient space when you're writing, so that if you missed out something, you can add it up. Okay. So higher charges for excavator is 20 lakh 25,000 rupees. Now, rate of GST, you are not expected to remember for each and every service and things. So they have given you in the question itself. Assuming the rates of GST to be as under, hiring charges of excavator is 12% and supply of manpower is 18%. So higher charges of excavator, yes, 12%, correct, Swati. And GST payable is 20 lakh 25,000 into 12%. Is 2,43,000, right? Next, they have higher charges they've received, then service charges for supply of manpower. Service charge for manpower, what is the value? 22,500. Okay. Now, what is the rate for this? This is manpower supply. Supply of manpower services and soil testing and seismic evaluation, it's 18%. So shall we take 18% then? Bhumika is saying 18%. Shoaib is saying no, 12%. Khushi is saying 12% rate of principal supply. Okay. Okay, lot of answers. Composite supply, mixed supply. नहीं भैया, mixed supply नहीं होगा. If it is mixed supply, Om Krishnam, whatever is the highest rate we will apply. If you are confusing that excavator and manpower is mixed supply, तो फिर highest rate will apply for all. So it is not mixed supply, it is composite supply. Correct. So composite supply and the rate will be 12%. Since they have given separate rate for manpower, but however, it is a composite supply because they do not give supply of manpower independently than the hiring of excavator. So whatever is the rate for the excavator, only then they provide the manpower. So rate will be 12%. Okay, so service charge for manpower will be 22,500 at 12%. Then the next component is what they have received. Service charge for soil testing and seismic evaluation at 3 sites, 2,81,250. Now on this, what will be the rate? %18 Khushi. Om Krishna was also saying 18%. Yes. So it is 18% because it is not a composite supply. It's an individual supply, and they've specified the rate as for soil testing and seismic evaluation at 18%. So we'll take at 18%. This will be the GST payable. Total GST payable will be addition of all of these three, which is 296, 325. Correct? Now supply side is done. We have to ultimately calculate the GST payable. So if you have to calculate the GST payable on outward supply, we have calculated. Now we will reduce what is the input tax on inward supply. So once we reduce that, then the net GST payable would arrive. Computation of input tax credit, particulars, GST paid and ITC available. Because why GST paid and ITC available is different? Because we have to capture what is the GST paid. Now, whatever GST is paid is not always available. Correct? So we have to disclose also what is the GST paid and how much is the ITC which is available. So what have they paid? They have said that they have made payment. Annual, the GST paid during the said month on services received by Messrs. Saurabhji is as follows. Annual maintenance for excavators. Okay. Annual maintenance for excavators is 1,12,500. Is the ITC available on this? Yes, it's available, right? It is available because it is in the course of furtherance of business, and for upkeep of these excavators, they have to spend the AMC, annual maintenance contracts. So what they have paid is available. Okay. Next. Health insurance of operators. How much is the GST paid? Health insurance of operators, 12,375. Yes, it is 12,375. Is the credit available for this? If it is obligatory, then available, right? Swati is saying yes, it is still available. Obligatory or not obligatory doesn't matter. So in the question, Shoaib, do you see anywhere there is a statutory obligation mentioned? So if nothing is mentioned, what do you do? You're right. ITC is available only if it is a statutory obligation. I mean, question they have not given so. So you can make any assumption. Had it been a factory, you would have made an assumption saying that yes, it is available. Now it is only a excavator, so ITC is not available. So you can assume that it is not obligatory. That's why ITC on health insurance is a block credit. Next input service here I've mentioned specifically that assume that it is not obligatory under any law. That is my assumption. That's why I'm saying ITC is not available. Third aspect is scientific and technical consultancy for soil testing and seismic evaluation. So fourth one is scientific and technical consultancy. Here it is 1,12,500 again. Now on this is ITC available. Scientific and technical consultancy, it is not available. Shoaib is saying not available. Why not available, Shoaib? It is available, right? Because it is used for the purpose of business itself. So credit on this is available. Total input tax credit available is 1,12,500 plus 1,12,500, which is 2,25,000 rupees. Now, ITC has been claimed on the assumption that all the provisions of Section 16 has been complied with, because they have not given any more information. So it is only a simple question of finding the GST payable and ITC. But if they give whether it's available in 2B or no, then we will have other calculations. But in this case, they have not given anything. So we'll assume this is the uh, complied upon input tax credit. So output tax is total 2,96,325 and our input tax is 2,25,000 rupees. Okay. Net GST liability or the net GST payable is 296,325 minus 225. So net GST payable is 71,325. So that is how a simple calculation has to be done. Clear with this? Very simple question ಇತ್ತಲ್ವಾ ಸ್ವಾತಿ ಅವರೇ? Okay. So then we will go to question number 2 is very simple. Likewise, we will not take question number 2. Question number 3 is what we will take. Question number 3 says, which provision to apply confused? Which provision is to be applied in that question, the first question, Swati? What was the confusion in the first one? Composite supply or mixed supply. Okay. So simple. When there are two or more supply which is naturally bundled, then you will treat it as a composite supply. When the supply are not connected itself, then it is mixed supply. When it is a composite supply, what is the rate for the principal product that will apply for all other products? And when it is a simple, and when it's a mixed supply, whatever is the highest rate in that mixed supply components, that will apply for the whole of the supply itself. Okay. Now, question number 3. ABC Company of Bengaluru is a manufacturer and registered supplier of machine. It has provided the following details for the month of November 20. Details of GST paid on inward supplies during the month. Health insurance of factory employees 20,000. Here they are given additional column, which is very important, saying that whether it is appearing in GST or 2B, right? Because one of the conditions to claim ITC is that it should appear in your GST or 2B. So health insurance of factory employees, it is appearing. Raw materials for which invoice has been received and GST has also been paid for the full amount, but only 50% of the materials has been received. Remaining 50% will be received in next month. He has raised the invoice. Physical delivery has not yet happened. Invoice has been raised and you have got credit of 18,000 rupees. This is also appearing in your GSTR 2B. Third is labor services used for installation of plant and machinery. This is 12,000. This is also appearing in 2B. Okay. Third component is labor services. Labor services used for installation of plant and machinery, 12,000. This is also appearing in 2B. All of this is what? This is GST paid. This is the tax value. Okay. Then the fourth component is purchase of manufacturing machine directly sent to job workers premise under purchase of machine manufacturing machine directly sent to job workers premises under challan. So this is also appearing. So one thing what we will have to note is whether when any goods are sent directly to the job workers, is it available or no? Purchase of car by our directors for business meeting only. 25,000 is the simple small credit. Then outdoor catering service availed for business meetings, 8,000 rupees. All of this is appearing in GSTR 2B. Raw material purchased and received in this month, 30,000 rupees. On that, we don't get the benefit. Purchase of car, even though if it is used by a business, available or no. Outdoor catering services, raw materials purchase, but credit is not appearing. Consumer purchase appearing in 2B. GST paid on import of raw materials not appearing. What is the credit which can be claimed by ABC Limited? Simple question. Do you want yourself to work out instead of helping me? I would request everyone to unmute so that we can solve this question and we don't have to wait to see your messages.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay.
So question number 3, we have to only calculate the input tax credit and whether it is claimable or not. Question number 3, ABC Company Limited, computation of input tax credit. First one, health insurance. Health insurance for factory employees. ITC of health insurance is blocked and hence not claimable. It is assumed that it is not obligatory for ABC Limited. If you assume that no, it is necessary since it's a manufacturing, then you can say credit is available. But I have assumed that it is not obligatory. So I will not claim the credit. So GST paid is 20,000 rupees. Not a minute. GST paid is 20,000 rupees. ITC available is nil. ITC claimable is also nil. Okay. Next, on the second part, raw materials purchased, on which how much is the GST paid? GST paid is 18,000 rupees. Is ITC available on this? Om Krishnom is saying no, sir, not available. What are others saying? No. So it is not claimable for the simple reason that only when the last installment is received, only then we can claim it. Here they've given only 50%, balance 50% not yet received. Okay. So you cannot claim it. So ITC is not available here also. Okay. Third scenario is labor services used for installation of plant and machinery. Now, labor services used for installation. All of this generally you see that as a matter of costing, you would have seen all of this is required. But from a GST perspective, pata you should see whether this is satisfying the condition. Is it block credit? Not a block credit, start claiming it. Okay. So labor service used for installation of plant is 12,000 rupees. Is ITC available on this? Yes, ITC is available. Now, is it claimable? The status shows that for this labor service, it is appearing in 2B. So yes, ITC is claimable then. Because not cost included in plant and machinery. Correct. It is claimable. Then Next matter to consider is manufacturing machine directly sent to a job worker's premises. Okay. Now, on this, how much is the GST I have paid? 50,000 rupees. Can I claim this? Because goods have not reached my premises. It has gone directly to job worker's premises.
Yes, because deemed supply.
Deemed supply.
So because of bill to ship to transaction.
Bill to ship to will be from the supplier's perspective, but I'm a receiver here. So what Om Krishnam said was correct, that this is a deemed transaction. Even if you have not received, it's gone to the job worker, it is still treated as a deemed received. So 50,000 will be available and you can claim this credit. Next, purchase of car by the director. How much he's paid? 25,000 is the credit. Used by the director only for business meetings. So credit is available then. Sorry.
Sir, in this case, it is blocked.
Okay. But even if it's used for a business, even then is it blocked?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So purchase of car by the director, even if he uses for his business, it is always blocked. On that, credit will never be available to you. If it is more than 13-seater, then we can get ITC. Correct. So generally a car will not be 13-seater, but if you have any confusion, what is the thing, then you can make an assumption, definitely write it there. It is assumed that the car has seating capacity less than 13%. So if it has more than 13%, then yes, you can claim it. Next item is outdoor catering. Outdoor catering services availed for business meetings. Now, on this, how much is the GST paid? 8,000 is the GST paid. So, will this outdoor catering service, okay, will it be available as input tax credit?
No,
Not
sir.
available because not provided under statutory obligation. Outdoor catering के लिए statutory obligation is not required. It is that it is item of food, and any item of food is not available as a credit. So it is a blocked credit. Next is raw material purchased and received. They have received raw material for the extent of 30,000 rupees. So 30,000 is the value here. Now, is ITC available for this? ITC is available. So what was our heading? ITC available and ITC claimable. Can I claim this 30,000 rupees? No, sir, because it is not reflecting in GSTR 2B. Correct. So if it is not appearing in GSTR 2B, it will be that it will be available in the ITC available, but we will not claim it. Okay. Raw material purchase 30,000 ITC is available, but is the ITC claimable? Not claimable because it is not reflecting in GSTR 2B. So even though ITC is available, you cannot claim it. Next is consumables purchased. Consumables purchased. What is the
Blocked.
value? It is blocked. $30,000 available again 30,000 appearing in GSTR 2B. So that condition also is satisfied. So it is claimable.
Sir, please explain consumable purchase once again.
Yeah. So consumable purchased is those raw materials, apart from raw materials, small tools, small items which are there, which you purchase it. Okay. And it doesn't have any individual identity. Like if a company is manufacturing a machinery, nuts, bolts, and other small accessories, which is getting consumed in the manufacturing, oil will be used, right? So they are called as consumables, even though they will not be available as such in the output or whatever sales you make, but they are essential. So they are available. Other reason why they are available is there is no category of block credit for consumables. That's the reason. For these two reasons, consumables will be available.
And sir,
Lubricants, yes.
can
Yes,
we say that it is for the purpose of furtherance of business so that ITC is available?
correct. It is for the furtherance of business, so ITC is available. And then last item is imports. Imports, 50,000 rupees value. Credit is available. Correct. On imports, I'll pay customs duty. Here they mentioned that how much is the GST portion on that. 50,000 is the GST portion. So this is the GST what I've paid. Is the ITC available? ITC is available. Now, is the ITC claimable? They have mentioned no. But for imports, even if it doesn't appear, you can claim it because you have the bill of entry. Because the system is not very robust, so the ITC of imports will not be appearing in your 2B, so you can still claim it. So what is your total ITC available? 1,72,000 out of claimable ITC is 1,42,000. I hope you are working out parallelly with me, not just seeing the screen. So ITC claimable is 1,42,000. Good, Swati.
Last one ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ
Sorry.
ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ GST paid on import raw materials ಇದು 2B ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೂ ನಾವು ತಗೊಳಕ್ ಬರುತ್ತಾ?
ಹೌದು 2B ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳಕ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಅದು 2B ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ ಅವರು. ಸೊ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ RCM ಫಾರ್ ದೀಸ್ ಟು ಕೇಸಸ್ ದೇವ್ ಸೆಡ್ 2B ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೂ ನೀವು ಕ್ಲೇಮ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll go to the next question then. Question number 4. Star Limited is a registered supplier in Karnataka. Most of the questions are influenced by my region. That's why I'm giving it. Don't get offended or take it otherwise. Star Limited is a registered supplier in Karnataka, has provided the following details for supply of one machinery. Okay. One machine is cost there. So this is the pricing for one machinery. List price of the machinery supplied exclusive of items given below from 2 to 4 is 80,000 rupees. Tax levied by local authority on sale of such machine is 6,000 rupees. Discount of 2% on the list price of the machinery was provided and it was recorded in the invoice of machinery. And packing expenses for safe transportation charged separately in the invoice is 4,000 rupees. Okay. Star Limited received rupees 5,000 as subsidy from an NGO on sale of each machinery. The price of rupees 80,000 of the machine is after considering such subsidy. During the month of February 2020, Star Limited supplied 3 machines to intrastate customers and 1 machine to interstate customer. Star Limited purchased inputs for rupees 1,20,000 rupees, exclusive of GST, for supplying the above 4 machines during the month. The balance of ITC is as follows: 18,000, 4,000, 26,000. Rate of GST is 18%. All the amounts are exclusive of GST. All the conditions for necessary for availing ITC has been fulfilled. Compute the minimum net GST payable for the month of February 2020. Now this you will have to work out. Value of the machine, yes, 82,400. That's the starting point. Is the value of the machine 82,400? We'll just wait for others. Om Krishnam, what are others saying? $93,400. Shoaib is saying very high. दोनों के बीच में 11,000 रुपीज का डिफरेंस आ रहा है. Mohit is also saying 93,400. Bhumika is saying 82,400. Okay, so there are mixed reaction. Let us see what is the exact value. List price is 80,000. Okay. Then we have to by local authority, because local authority is levying and this is not in the nature of GST. Any tax other than GST has to get added. So I'll add this. Then packing expenses. Kitna hai packing expense for each machinery? 4,000 rupees. Then subsidy from the NGO. Subsidy received from the non-government body which is directly linked to the price. The same is included. Why I am adding this? Because they have said that the Star Limited received 5,000 as subsidy from the NGO on sale of each machinery. The price of 80,000 of the machine is after considering such subsidy. मतलब उन्होंने subsidy consider करके price को कम कर दिया है, जो नहीं होना चाहिए, because subsidy received from a non-government entity needs to get added, तो उसको add करना पड़ेगा. Clear? And then the total makes it as 95,000 rupees. बट इन्होंने एक कहा है ना कि डिस्काउंट ऑफ 2% ऑन द लिस्ट प्राइस इज अवेलेबल. So take that discount of 2% on 80,000 rupees, which makes it as 1,600. So the tax value of taxable supply is 93,400. Right? So 93,400, who have 82,400, just see the workings. So 93,400 is the value. Now calculate the tax payable. What is the rate of tax? Huh? Rate of tax, Shoaib. It is mentioned no. Rate of tax CGST, SGST 9% and IGST. Yes, yes. Are you working out? Yes, okay. CGST 7218, SGST 12,030 payable in cash. Okay. Good answer, Swati. I'm not confirming. Let us wait for others also. Just one more minute. After utilizing. Oh, okay. Yes, sure. Bhumika is getting a CGST of 7218. Okay. Close to what, Swati, you have given the answer. Okay. So we will start working on it. What is the minimum GST payable? 12,200, 26,200, बहुत ज्यादा हो गया हमको। देखते हैं अभी। सेल ऑफ मशीन इंट्रास्टेट 3 मशीनरी है, so 93,400 into 3 machine at 9% each, and interstate is 1 machinery, so 93,400 into 8. Okay, then total output tax payable is 25,218, 25,000. Itna taxable payable is fine. This you would have all got right. Output tax payable is this. Now we'll do the input tax. ITC. How much is the ITC? CGST, SGST, IGST करके opening balance is 18,000, 4,000 and 26,000. और credits कितना है अभी इनके पास? Inputs of 1,20,000 rupees exclusive of GST for supplying the above. So 1,20,000 into 9% and 9% SGST. इतना credit for the month है. Correct? So your total ITC is 28,800, 14,800, 26,000. ITC यहाँ तक मिला आपको? Yes, everything is correct. Swati mistake ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಯ್ತು mistake ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ. Okay. So this is the credit which is available. Now you will utilize this credit. Input ITC I've calculated but didn't consider it.
Yes, sir.
Add it. Be careful.
Okay, sir.
So what I will do is, let's go step by step. I will utilize the credit. Set off IGST credit with IGST liability. First rule is you have to utilize this IGST fully. So 26,000 from that, my liability is 16,812. So I will offset this. Okay. So my ITC to the extent of my output IGST, I utilized it. Balance is 9188. Now I can utilize with SGST or CGST. Which should be the idealistic which I will utilize? I will utilize first with, say, SGST. Because here SGST is having lesser credit. So if I give IGST credit, borrow from IGST and pay it, that will be better first. So I will utilize the IGST balance of 26,000 minus 16,812, 9188 to pay off the SGST liability. Okay. Then IGST is fully exhausted. Now CGST I will utilize for payment of my CGST liability, and any SGST credit I will utilize with my SGST liability. To the extent of full SGST fully I am utilizing, and to the extent of CGST I can utilize only to the extent what is output tax payable. So if I do this, then what is happening? I am utilizing fully IGST IGST against CGST, and some SGST is left out. Through this, my tax payable will be that out of 25,208 fully it is paid, 25,218 payable, but I can pay only 23,988. So 1,230 will be the SGST payable. IGST payable will become 0. Forgot input. अरे input ही भूल गए, ऐसे कैसे? SGST payable 1,230. Yes, Shoaib had given the correct answer. देख लो इसको कैसे यूटिलाइज करते हैं. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. आपको आईटीसी यूटिलाइजेशन बहुत जरूरी है.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
can you please once again explain how to calculate the value of machine in this case?
Yeah. So, list price is 80,000, which is given. We have to add any other taxes which is levied by the government other than CGST, SGST, IGST, and compensation cess. So we have to add any other taxes. We have to add the packing material cost also. And the subsidy in the question, they're given 80,000 value is considered after considering the subsidy received, which means my sale value, what I have mentioned as a list price, is after considering this subsidy. Matlab, after giving the benefit of this subsidy. Okay. So which means that my price is coming down because I'm getting subsidy from this NGO. Now, since this NGO is giving it, this subsidy is not a deductible subsidy. So I have to add back that subsidy. So I'm adding back 5,000 rupees. This will become my total sale price. From the sale price, they mentioned that 2% discount will be given, but on the list price. So you will not deduct 2% on 96,000. 95,000 is the value which you derive. The discount of 2% will be on the list price, and list price is same itself. So you don't have to add subsidy again to it. The list price is the list price. It is listed price. Don't have to change it. So discount will be 2% on this 80,000 rupees, which is 1,600. Net will be the value of taxable sale. Any more doubts in this question?
Sir, what is that 1,20,000 exclusion of GST in the question?
1,20,000 is our purchases. So they have purchased 1,20,000 worth inputs. So if they purchase something, we have to give credit for that, right? We will get the credit. So this is that 1,20,000 rupees on which 9% CGST and 9% SGST we are claiming. That is the input purchases. I've said Star Limited purchase inputs of 1,20,000 exclusive of GST for supplying the above 4 machines. Matlab, on 1,20,000, you have to take 9%, 9%. If they would have said 1,20,000 inclusive of GST, then what you would have done?
Then that GST part would be taken.
What will be the value then? How will you do 1,20,000 into?
Then,
If this is inclusive of GST, then your number working will be 1,20,000. In this, GST of 18 is already included. So divided by 118 into 100 will be the gross value. Okay. So 1,01,695 into 9%. you would have taken 9,152 and then 9,152 of the SGST. So total of this will become 1,20,000. Okay. So if they say inclusive, then you have to do this formula 1 lakh value divided by 118 into 100. On that 9% CGST, 9% SGST. Or directly into 9 also. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir, if subsidy received from NGO, but it is a lump sum and not product link, then it will be added? No, then it will not be added. Because here specifically they're given link to the product price itself. So we are adding it. So if it's a blanket subsidy, we will not add it. Okay. Now let's go to the next question. Question number 5. Okay. Not required, Mohit, because they have just told what is the minimum net GST payable. So we will only tell the what is the minimum net GST payable. Let's stick on to the question. Question number 5. Arihan Residents Welfare Association is registered under GST, has 45 members, each paying monthly maintenance of rupees 8,000. Swati, ಬೇರೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ ತಗೋತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಇರೋದು ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. The association purchased a pump set for rupees 60,000 rupees, excluding GST, and availed property maintenance service of rupees 59,000 rupees, inclusive of GST of rupees 9,000, and for use of its members. Compute the GST payable for January 2021 by the association. All transactions are intrastate. There is no opening ITC and all conditions of ITC are fulfilled. बहुत छोटा question है. Please solve this. $5,000. Okay. 45,000. Okay. So 45,000 is the most repeated answer I've got. Mostly should be correct. Maintenance charges received 8,000 rupees into 45 members, 3,60,000. On that, 64,800 is the GST, 18%. Then GST payable, GST assumed as excluded in the collection. Okay, because if you assume that GST is inclusive, then you have to do gross up. But you mention these things. These small points also make a impact because the examiner should know that that there is exclusive and inclusive method under GST. Okay. Then ITC, what is the ITC, which is there on pump set, 60,000 rupees at 18%, 10,800. On maintenance charges, 9,000 rupees. That's straight away given 9,000 rupees. So my net GST liability is 45,000 rupees. Correct. Simple, right? Okay, let's move to the next question then. Sixth is fine. It's a kind of question answer. Question number 13 will go then. Mr. Kumar, this question. Mr. Kumar, a registered supplier of Chennai, has received the following amounts in respect of activities undertaken by him during the month ended on 30th September 2020. Amount charged for service provided to recognized sports body as a selector of national team, 50,000. Commission as an insurance agent, 65,000 rupees. Amount charged as business correspondent for the service provided to the urban branch of a nationalized bank. Service to foreign diplomatic mission, and funeral services. He received the services from unregistered goods transport agency for his business activities relating to serial number 123 and paid freight of rupees 45,000 rupees. His aggregate turnover in the previous year was 9.9 lakhs. All the transactions stated above are intrastate supplies and are exclusive of GST. You are required to calculate the gross value of taxable supplies on which GST is to be paid by Mr. Kumar for the month of September 20. Working note should form part of your answer. Please work out for this. Yeah, any update on this answer? Two, 3, 4, and 5 are exempt, right? Okay, let's see the answer here. Supplies on which GST is payable under forward charge, because here you have both forward and reverse charge. Amount charged to recognize Pope's body as a selector of national team. 50,000 rupees because it's not exempted. Then commission received as insurance agent services are RCM, correct? So receiver will only pay. And next is business correspondent to urban branch. Had it been rural branch, that would have been exempted, but this is the urban branch. So 3, somebody was saying 3 may get exempted. No, third is not exempted. And also not under RCM. Then services of a foreign diplomatic mission is also taxable, not exempted. Funeral services, they are exempted. So these are the services on which FCM will apply. Okay. Then supply on which GST is payable under reverse charge will be services received from GTA, 45,000 rupees, because he is registered under GST. That limit of 9,90,000 is only to confuse you. That is not relevant for reverse charge. Once you're registered, RCM to pay karna hi padega. Then this is the total value of taxable supplies on which GST is payable is 1,38,000. What did they ask? Just you're required to calculate the gross value of taxable supply on which GST is payable. So including RCM, GST is payable on this value of 1,38,000. Clear, no? No doubts in this? Question number 15 then. Is registration of GTA relevant? Not relevant if they have not given anything. So normally GTA is under reverse charge. So if no information about GTA is given, so it will always be considered that it is under reverse charge. So you have to pay under reverse charge if you are a recipient. Question number 15, I'll put it. We can take a break of 5 minutes, not much because we have to take a lot of questions. So I will display this on the screen, and if you are not taking a break, take the question and you can answer this. I'll come back in 5 minutes. No break needed. Fine. So take up this question. Just read through this question. ब्रेक रहेगा तो स्क्रीन नहीं रहेगा सर. हाँ, स्क्रीन ऐसे रहेगी. Yes, yes. So answers on this question number 15. This also gives you a habit or uh, practice to actually read the question faster, because you can't spend much time on the question. Read the question, make the important pointers, shouldn't slip anything. Read the question, write down the important pointers. I don't know if writing on the question paper is allowed or not. At least highlighting should be allowed, or underlining it. Underline the important pointers which you have to consider for your answer. Single Brothers, registered in Uttarakhand, has supplied 30 tons of a chemical at 50,000 rupees per ton, which is excluding GST, to P of Uttarakhand on September 2000 something, could be 2024. The invoice for the supply has also been issued on the same date. Further, following additional amounts were also charged from P. Freight of 1,80,000 rupees, packing charges 1,10,000 rupees, weighing charges 20,000, cost of instrument specially purchased by Single Brothers to manufacture the chemical. As per the terms of the contract, Single Brothers is required to get the chemical inspected by an independent testing agency before the delivery of the same to P. P has paid such inspection charges amounting to rupees 12,000 directly to the testing agency. Single Brothers has also received rupees 50 lakhs as subsidy from the state government for setting up the chemical manufacturing plant. Somebody was asking me, give me a question like this. So here is a question for you, that when you have a subsidy which is not linked to the product, but it's a wholesale subsidy, what do you do with that? P is required to make payment within 15 days of supply in terms of the contract. However, P has delayed the payment of consideration and made payment in November. Okay. Thus paid 15,000 rupees as interest. You are required to calculate the GST liability in this case and the due date of deposit. Very simple question. Rate of GST is 80%. Single Brothers and P are not related, and price is the sole consideration for the supply. I've given you even that. GST liability 2,72,700, due date 20th October, if invoice is 20th September. आपको पूरा मार्क्स नहीं मिलेगा ओम कृष्णो, क्योंकि आपने एक एस्पेक्ट कंसिडर किया, एक और एस्पेक्ट आपको कंसिडर करना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, वो मैं बताता हूं आपको. क्विकली चलते हैं इसके आंसर में, फिर आपको मिल जाएगा इसका जवाब. ठीक है. वैल्यू ऑफ द केमिकल, फर्स्टली इट इज 30 टन एट कितना रेट पे, 50,000 रुपीज पर टन. ठीक है. Can cost of instrument be charged from P? Yes, it can be. ठीक है. Value of the chemical is 30 tons at 50,000 rupees. Add freight of 1,80,000 rupees. Then packing charges 1,10,000 rupees. Weighing charges 20,000 rupees. Cost of the instrument, because this is specially purchased by Single Brothers to manufacture this chemical, that also is added, 3,10,000 rupees. Then inspection charges. Inspection charges, which is paid directly by the customer on my behalf, that also has to be added. Then subsidy. Subsidy on this, it is not applicable because it is a general subsidy, not a price linked subsidy. Then transaction value is total of this, which is 21,32,000. On the tax of 18% is there. So GST on 21,30,000, we will pay 3,83,760. No other adjustments in the value. But interest, they has paid interest of 15,000 rupees. Now that 15,000 rupees interest, it will not be exclusive of GST, because you will collect interest, you will not collect anything else. So that 15,000 is inclusive of GST. So 15,000 divided by 118 into 100 will be the value. Okay. On that GST of 18%, 2288 makes it totally 15,000 rupees. Okay. So your value of supply will be 21,44,000, but there is a timing difference. Correct? Why? Why there's a timing difference? Any idea? 21,47,000 ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ? Yes. Swati, when they have not given clearly what it is, then interest will always be inclusive of GST. ನೀವು ಫೈನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ GST ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ ಅವರು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ thus paid 15,000 as interest. When the question is saying paid 15,000 as interest, it means that is what he has paid. Interest is paid later, so time of supply will be different. Correct. So for this 21,30,000, the time of supply is the date of invoice. And for IPL, if you remember, what is the time of supply for IPL? ಸ್ವಾತಿ ಅವ್ರ ನೆನಪಿದ್ಯಾ IPL ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಬರುತ್ತೆ?
Sir, no, sir. I forgot it.
Okay. So interest, penalty, and late fees, the time of supply will be the actual receipt. Okay. So, and the question, if you see, P is required to make payment within 15 days. P delayed the payment and made payment in November. So the time of supply will be November. Okay. So September is the invoice date. So on this 3,83,760, the time of supply is September. And for IPL, the interest which is paid in November, the time of supply will be November. Okay, that's why they've specifically asked the question. You are required to calculate the GST liability and the due date of deposit. So September's due date of deposit is 20th October. November's due date of deposit is 20th December. This is an important learning in this, that if you have interest, firstly, it should be grossed up, right? You shouldn't charge GST on the interest value. You have to gross it up. And then the time of supply for interest is when you actually receive it. Not under each item, wherever there is an exclusion, Mohit, for everything you don't have to. Like things like inspection charges. Why are you adding? Because it is not coming part of the normal table. So why are you putting it? There you mention notes. So that will give you a edge, saying that, okay, you're giving the clarity to the examiner. Because the examiner is not supposed to give marks only by seeing the final answer. He has to see the steps also. So wherever there is critical things, there you should give a note. Rate of interest not given separately, then you will assume the same rate of the GST rate itself. Yes, Kush. Okay, go to the next question. Question number 16 is fine. Question number 17. This should be similar question. I think you should be able to do it. Let's do this quickly. Mr. Krishna, just determine the value of supply. Very simple question like how we have done. Krishna Private Limited registered dealer furnished the following information related to goods sold by it to Mr. Balram Private Limited in the course of intrastate. Price of the goods, municipal tax, inspection charges, subsidies received from Sri Ram Trust. As the products is going to be used by blind association, late fees for delayed payment 1000 rupees. Though Sri Balram Private Limited made late payment, but these charges are waived by Sri Krishna Private Limited. And Sri Krishna Limited paid to Radhe Limited on behalf of Sri Krishna Private Limited weighment charges of 2000 rupees. Just to check what you have learned just now, do you remember this? Good. We will not consider 1000 waived, correct. Value of services, so 1,67,000, 1,69,000. Okay. 1,69,000. I'll just right away show the full answer. Let's not delay this. One lakh 69,000 is the answer. Price of the goods, municipal taxes you have added, inspection charges, subsidy received you have added, late fees you will not add because it is waived off, weighment charges you will add. So 1,69,000 rupees. 169, 169, 167 नहीं होगा. इंटरेस्ट नहीं लिया आपने, लेकिन 2000 शायद नहीं लिया आपने. करेक्ट ओम कृष्ण, आपने शायद वेवमेंट चार्जेस नहीं लिया रहेगा. आपका
Yes, sir.
167 आ रहा है.
Please explain why payment charges should be taken.
Weighment charges is basically weighing of the goods. When you're delivering the goods, you have to weigh and send it. Now, this is Sri Balram Limited. That is the customer paid to the weighing company on behalf of Krishna Limited. When they've said on behalf of, matlab, it is responsibility of Krishna Limited to weigh the goods and send it. Right? So, they have to weigh it. They weighed it, but they have not paid it. So, it is paid by the customer directly to the weighing company, so we have to add it. Any liability of the supplier which is met by the customer has to be added to the value. Expenses incidental to supply. Expenses incidental to supply would be all such expenses which is in the nature of the main supply and incurred incidental. Correct. That payment charges is incidental to it. Question number 18. Okay. This is a little different question now. When everything is theory, but answer is actually practical. Mera Sons, a registered supplier, is a wholesale supplier of ready-made garments located in Bandra, Mumbai. On 5th September, Subhadra, owner of Aura Boutique, located in Dadar, approached Mera Sons for supply of a consignment of customized dresses for ladies and kids. Subhadra hands over the check for payment on the same day. The said payment is entered in the accounts on 20th September. And the account on 20th September, and amount is credited in the bank on 21st September. Mera Sons gets the consignment ready by 2nd December 2020 and informs Subhadra about the same. The invoice for the consignment was issued the next day, that is 3rd September. Due to some reason, Subhadra could not collect the consignment immediately. So she collects the consignment from the premises on 18th December. You are required to determine the time of supply of the ready-made garments supplied by Mera Sons to Subhadra, elaborating the relevant provisions under the GST law. बोलिए सर, इसका आंसर क्या है? Swati is saying time of supply is 20th September because payment is recorded in the books or removal of the goods, whichever is earlier. Swati ಅವರೇ time of supply for goods ಗೆ ದಿತ್ತಲ್ವಾ ಅದು 21st September earlier or out of supply. भाई ये तो goods है. Goods के लिए आपको डेट ऑफ पेमेंट देखना है क्या? एक नोटिफिकेशन हमने एलॉबरेट करके प्रेस किया था ना, नोटिफिकेशन नंबर 66. आप उसको कैसे छोड़ सकते हो? 2nd December movement of goods, time of supply would be 3rd December, date of issue of the invoice. 4 डेट्स, सभी 4 डेट्स के ऑप्शन सबने दे दिए. See, the time of supply for goods is the earliest of the following 2 dates. What you are saying, partly you're right. Because time of supply for goods is date of issue of the invoice or the last date on which invoice is to be issued or the date of receipt of payment. Okay. However, as per notification number 66 of 2017, this you have to remember for time of supply for goods. As per notification number 66 of 2017, condition given under point B has been relaxed. So thereby the time of supply for goods will be the date of issue of the invoice or the due date of issuance of the invoice in case invoice is not issued on time. Okay. So in this case, date of issue of invoice is 3rd September as the invoice is issued on time. So the time of supply is 3rd December. Correct. But delivery is taken late, no sir? Will that be having any impact? If you see the question, we'll take you through the question again. 3rd, they've raised the invoice. Okay. Consignment is ready by 22nd. They've informed 3rd December. Now she's taken the goods on 18th December, no? Is that fine? It doesn't impact time of supply, correct? Because you have to issue the invoice anytime before the delivery of the goods. Now, delivery is happening late, but you have issued the invoice before only. So that is valid. So delivery, even if it is happening late, date of invoice or the due date when you should raise the invoice, whichever is earlier. Okay, so 3rd December is the time of supply. This is for services, reverse charge case. 20th is fine, 21st is fine, 22nd, 23rd. Okay. 23rd. Bansal and Chandok started a partnership of chartered accountants in J. So this is very practical because in the future you will also do this thing. So I've given a question which is relevant for you. Instead of Bansal and Chandok, it will be your respective names. The firm specializes in providing audit services to banks in Rajasthan. It provided the following details of its turnover. April to June, 10 lakh rupees. July to September, 20 lakh rupees. It crossed the threshold of 20 lakhs on 1st of August. Bansal and Chandok wishes to apply to pay tax at concessional rate. That is, that composition rate for services, what is there, no? That one, which is 6% for services. They wish to opt for that. Examine whether the firm is eligible for this scheme. If yes, then determine the tax payable by it in quarter April to June and for the quarter July to September. Very small question. Yes. Composition scheme, yes, the scheme referred is composition scheme, sir. In the charge of supply, you'll get it. Composition scheme for goods is 1%. Composition scheme for services is 6%. So everyone, I don't know, what is the confusion here for composition scheme? Eligible, yes. So for quarter one, it is eligible. Swati is saying no. Why no, Swati? April to June nil and July to September 60,000 rupees. Most of them are giving this answer. 150 lakhs, no, for services, 150 lakhs is for goods. Composition scheme for goods. For services, it is 50 lakh rupees only. Up to 50 lakhs only, you can claim this benefit. Above 50 lakhs, you cannot claim the benefit of composition for services. Correct. No for first quarter and yes for second quarter. So let's take this full answer. April to June is nil. July to September on 10 lakhs at 6%. Why? Because when you calculate the turnover, you have to consider the turnover from day one. From April till now, what is the turnover? 30 lakhs. 10 plus 20, 30 lakhs. Threshold for registration is 20 lakhs. You'll reduce it. And the taxable turnover balance 10 lakh on that tax is payable at 60,000 rupees. That is 30,000 CGST, 30,000 SGST. Okay. Another question on composition. Hiralal and Sons is registered in Karnataka. They have opted to avail the benefit of composition scheme. It has furnished the following details. Taxable turnover for goods within the states, intrastate sales 15 lakhs. Exempted turnover of goods within the states, again intrastate 17 lakhs. Total turnover is 32 lakhs. And using the above information, calculate the tax to be paid by the firm for the tax period ended 30th June 20 in the following independent situations. If Hiralal and Sons is a manufacturer, and second case where Hiralal and Sons is a trader. Come on, half an hour more. How much fast you can take? How much fast you can do it? That many questions I can take up. ₹15,000 if he is a manufacturer, is what Bhumika is saying. Shoaib is saying 30,000, 32,000 if he's a manufacturer and 15,000 if he's a trader. Bhumika is giving reverse answer and Shoaib is giving contradictory answer. Let us see what is the others are saying. Khushi is also saying 32,000 and 15,000. Bhumika, what is the tax payable for the trader then? 15,000 if trader, 32,000 for manufacturer. Manufacturer 32,000, trader 80,000. How did you get 80,000? For trader, 15%, 1%, yes. Simple. If Hiralal and Sons is a manufacturer, tax is to be paid at 1%. Trader 2.5% नहीं है भूमिका. Trader के लिए भी 1% है, manufacturer के लिए भी 1% है. But if he is a manufacturer, 1% of the turnover in the state, पूरे turnover का जो है उसके ऊपर 1% लगेगा. 1% of full 32 lakhs is 32,000. And if he is a trader, then 1% of the taxable supplies. Only percentage दोनों का same है, but the base will be changing. Base will be turnover in the state, which will include exempted turnover for a manufacturer. But for a trader, it will be 1% of the taxable supplies. Only taxable supplies का 1% रहेगा, which will be 15 lakhs का 1%, 15,000. Okay. In the composition scheme, when we had taken, we had specifically mentioned this. आपकी slide अपने PPTs में जाके फिर से आप देखिए. 1% of the turnover for a trader, 1% of the turnover in the state for the manufacturer. For trader, only taxable supplies. Okay. Apportionment of credits. Yeah. Okay. I'll take a question on apportionment of credits. Question number 34 is on apportionment of credits. But apportionment of credits is not there for your syllabus, no? Just check, Mohit, it is not there for your syllabus, but I have a question here, which you can refer that. We'll go to another question on ITC. Question number 34. From the following information, determine the amount of input tax admissible to ABC in respect of varied input purchased during the month. Goods purchased without invoice, 25,000 rupees. Goods purchased from PQR Limited. Okay, small question. Goods purchased from PQR Limited. Full payment is made by ABC Limited to PQR against such supply, but tax has not been deposited by PQR Limited. 1,20,000 rupees. Purchase of goods not to be used for business purposes, 18,000 rupees. Purchase of goods from TT Limited. Invoice of TT Limited is received in the month of September 2021, but goods were received in the month of October 21. And goods purchased against valid invoice from FF Limited. Tax has been deposited by FF Limited. ABC Limited has made payment to FF Limited for such purchase in the month of October 21. Yeah, just work out the answer for this while I look out whether apportionment is there for you or no. Yes, Mohit, in the ITC chapter, they've said reversal ITC on inputs, input services, and capital goods, and reversal thereof will be discussed in final. But let me just check again whether under section 18 there is anything. Yeah, rule 3737A is there in your finals, Mohit, as Shoaib is also confirmed. So this is not applicable for you at the inter level. Okay, on this 1, 2, 3, 4, no credit is available or it is blocked. So you're getting credit only on point number 5. Goods purchased without invoice, no input tax credit will be available since he should be in possession of invoice, not there. Second, 16 to no register will be entitled to credit in respect of any goods unless the tax charge has been actually paid. In this case, PQR Limited has not deposit tax credit not available. Point number 3, not utilized for business purposes, no credit available. Point number 4, purchase received in the month of October, so you should claim it in the month of October itself. Point number 5, has been deposited by FF Limited, has made the payment for such purchase in the month of October. So they have made the payment within the permissible 180 days, so credit is available. So only credit available is 5, not even 4, Bhumika. Invoice is received, issued in September. One of the condition is goods should have been received. Goods तो आपको अगले महीने में मिला है, so you should claim it in the month of October itself. Clear? I am really going fast, I feel, but we will have to be fast to cover up more questions. But any doubt, any point of time, please raise it. Question number 35. It's a really lengthy question, but we have to get prepared with such questions. XYZ Limited, New Delhi manufactures biscuits under the brand name of Tasty Picks. Biscuits are supplied to wholesalers and distributors located across India on FOR basis. Okay, from the warehouse of the company located in New Delhi. Matlab, you will have to come and pick it up. I will do the transaction on FOR basis. Anything extra will be chargeable. The company uses multiple modes of transport for supplying the biscuits to its customers throughout the spread across the country. The transportation cost is shown as a line item in the invoice and is billed to the customers with a markup of 2% or the total amount of freight paid. Matlab, freight is not their responsibility, it is the customer's responsibility. But if the customer wants, they will hire some GTA person or any transporter, and they will add margin of 2%. That is also clearly said. Floor used for the production of the process is procured from vendors located in Madhya Pradesh on ex-factory basis. The company engages GTA to transport the floor from the factories to the factories of the vendors to its factory located in New Delhi. From the vendor, it comes to New Delhi. The company has provided the following data relating to transportation of business as biscuits and floors in the month of April. For sales within NCR region, the company arranged a local minivan belonging to an individual and paid him 54,000 rupees. For sales to location in distinct states, which is 1 crore 78 ka sales, the company booked the goods by railways and paid railway freight of 3,17,000 rupees. For sales to locations in neighborhood states, the company booked GTA and paid road freight of 373 out of the total sales to neighborhood goods worth 10 lakhs were booked through a GTA, which paid tax at 12%. Freight of 73,000 was paid to such GTA. For purchase of floor from Madhya Pradesh, the company booked the goods via GTA and paid freight of 55,000 rupees. For purchase of butter from Punjab, the company booked the goods via GTA and paid freight of 35,000 rupees. For local purchase of baking powder, the company booked the goods by GTA in a single carriage and paid road freight of 1,500 rupees. For transferring the biscuits, whose open market value of 4 lakh to one of its sister concern, the company booked the goods by GTA and paid road freight of 40,000 rupees. Based on the particulars given above, compute the GST payable on the amount paid for the transportation by XYZ Limited when it avails the services of different transporters. Compute the GST payable on the amount paid for transportation. तो सेल्स वैल्यू के ऊपर हमको जीएसटी नहीं करना है, सिर्फ ट्रांसपोर्टर्स पेमेंट के ऊपर वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट द जीएसटी. Compute the GST charged on transportation cost billed by the company to its customers. So both we have to do. How much GST it is payable and how much they will charge from their customers. Assume the rate of GST on transportation of goods to be 5%, except when there are other rates specified in the question, and GST on supply of biscuits is to be 12%. Very lengthy question. So instead of asking you to answer it, let's answer this together. Okay. Computation of GST payable on amount paid for transportation by XYZ Limited when it avails the services of different transporters. Firstly, transportation of biscuits in a local minivan belonging to an individual. The company, this part I'll just highlight so that we can concentrate multiple points. NCR region, the company arranged a mini local van belonging to an individual and paid him 54,000 rupees. Transportation of biscuits in a local minivan belonging to an individual. Only the transportation of goods by a road by a GTA is liable to GST. अगर goods transport agency है, तब reverse charge लगेगा. When the transportation of goods is by a minivan or a local individual truck, then there is an exemption which says that under notification number 12, so you don't have to pay reverse charge on such supply which is not by a GTA. Okay, so on this freight, GST payable is nil because it's not a GTA. मिनी वैन जो इंडिविजुअल ट्रक लेते हो उनसे जो भी ट्रांसपोर्टेशन यू गेट इट डन ऑन दैट देयर इज नो रिवर्स चार्ज. क्लियर? Okay,
Yes, sir.
very good. The second point, for sales to locations in distant states, the company booked the goods by Indian Railways. So when they book it by Indian Railways, what happens? Transportation of biscuits by Indian Railways, 3,17,000 on that reverse charge would come in. So 5% GST will be payable there. Third aspect, transportation of this railways is done. Third aspect, sales to locations in neighborhood states. The company booked the goods transport agency and paid road freight of 3,73,000. Out of the total sales to neighboring states, goods worth 10 lakhs were booked through a GTA, which paid tax at 12%, and the freight was 73,000, was paid to such GTA. Matlab, out of this freight of 3,73,000, freight of 73,000 is given by a GTA who himself is paying the GST. When supplier is paying the GST, receiver will not pay. Correct? So 3,73,000 minus 73 makes it as 3 lakh rupees. On this, we will have to pay reverse charge. Clear? 373 is the total freight for this transportation from neighborhood states. On this 73,000 GTA saying I will pay the GTA GST by myself. On the other GTAs, I will have to pay the reverse charge. Okay. Point number 4. For purchase of flour from Madhya Pradesh, the company booked the goods by a GT and paid road freight of 55,000 rupees. This is fine. Transportation of biscuits by a GT. This bifurcation 3,15,000 and balance 73,000 nil. We have to give that presentation because where that 73,000 go? To give that clarity, we have to mention this saying that it is paid under forward charge, not under reverse charge. For this next item of, we are on this 55,000 rupees, not payable. Transportation of floor by a GTA. Services provided by GTA by way of transportation of floor are exempted. Okay. Like agriculture products we had seen, right? Apart from agriculture, there were specific products when we read exemption notification. In that exemption notification, if you read out, floor is also one of the items. So purchase of floor on that reverse charge will not apply. It is exempted. Next is transportation of butter. Okay. Though services provided by GTA by way of transportation of inter alia milk is exempted, road transport of butter will not be exempted. Okay, milk, flour, these products will be exempted, but butter is an extraction of a milk, and they've specifically said milk. They have not said milk products. Had they said milk products, we could have interpreted butter to be part of the milk product, but they have specifically said milk. So milk is exempted, butter is not exempted. So on this, we have to pay reverse charge. 35,000 के ऊपर 5%. Next, transportation of baking powder. Company booked the goods by a GTA और 15,000 रुपए है. कुछ exemption मिलेगा? नहीं मिलेगा. Earlier, there was an exemption that if the value is less than 7,500, then you would have got an exemption, but exemption is moved out. That is not applicable now. So on full 1,500, we have to pay reverse charge. Next is transportation of biscuits by a GTA to a sister concern. GST is payable XYZ Limited under reverse charge. Why? Because this is done. Transporting of biscuits to one of its sister concern. The company has booked the GTA, so they have to pay it. Right? So they have to pay on 40,000 rupees, even if it is a sister concern and things, doesn't matter. आपने एक बुक कर दिया है तो फिर आपको जीएसटी पे करना पड़ेगा. So on 40,000 rupees, you'll pay at 5% reverse charge. So total tax payable by XYZ Limited on availing the services of different transporters is 34,675. So is that answer complete? That is answer for the first part. Second is compute the GST charge on transportation cost billed by the company to its customers. So it is two parts. We have completed the first part. That is how much is the GST payable on reverse charge basis. That I've calculated. Now we have to answer the second part. How much is the GST charged on transportation cost billed by the company to its customers? XYZ is supplying biscuits on FOR basis. This will be a 16 marks question, sir. This will be very heavy question. So we have to deal with it in detail. XYZ Limited is supplying biscuits on FOR basis. The service of transportation biscuits gets bundled with the supply of biscuits, correct? Thus, the supply of biscuits and transportation service is a composite supply. Any supply incidental or ancillary to the main supply is a composite supply. So this supply of biscuits and transportation is a composite supply, which is chargeable to tax at the rate applicable on the principal supply. Even though transportation GTA, we will be at 5%, but this is a composite supply. So we will tax at the rate what is the principal supply. Principal supply taxed at 12%. So this will also be taxed at 12% itself, is what is the explanation you have to mention first. Then now you mention what is the freight you will charge and what is the rate. Transportation, again, same thing we have to continue because all of this you are charging, correct, to your customers. You are hiring a transporter and you are charging to your customers. So a company arranged a local minivan belonging to an individual, sales within NCR, correct, within NCR. So CGST, SGST. Transportation of biscuits in a local minivan, 54,000 rupees. Freight billed. कहीं पे तो लिखा था ना कि they are charging 2% extra. The transporter cost is shown in line item in the invoice and is billed to the customer with a markup of 2%. मतलब transporter ने 54 लिया है, तो फिर आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा? 54,000 plus. So now I'll put a different color so that one by one we can write it off. 54,000 GST paid on freight. यहाँ पे freight में हमने कुछ pay नहीं किया है, so nothing to be added. Freight will be 2% of 54,000. GST charge at 12%. Second case, transportation by railway, 3,17,000 rupees. Then I have paid 15,850. So I will add that and have a markup of 2% because it says 2% of the total amount of freight paid inclusive of taxes. That is my agreement. So मैं तो GTA को pay करूँगा, but I will not bear the cost. I will collect it from my customer. So that also I will charge and GST at 12% on that. So ये भी हो गया. So first one is done. Second one is done. Third one, transportation of biscuits, 3 lakh rupees. Same यहाँ से ही ले सकते हैं. 3 lakh, then 15,000 rupees. Makes it as 3,15,000. Yeah, you could add a column there also. Anything is fine. Freight of 32,100, 3,21,300 on that. Then transportation of biscuits by GTA. Again, biscuits, 73,000, which is there's GST freight paid. Here you have to add. This is very critical because the supplier is adding it. Even though you are not paying reverse charge, don't blindly take it from there. That's why this column is mentioned separately because GTA is charging, correct? So we have to charge the customer. So we will charge it to the customer. Even though we are not paying RCM, supplier is charging it. So we will add it and collect it from the customer with 2% margin. Then this much is the freight up to 73,000. Then for purchase, others are all purchases. On purchases, I don't have to add only on the sales. So the total tax charged by XYZ Limited on transportation cost bill to customer is 95,914. And now sister concern, we are not adding because it is assumed that since it's a sister concern, it's a non-customer, so I'm not adding it. Very detailed question. Please have a look at this and let me know if you have any questions. One is everything total of my transportation is GTA, on which I have to pay RCM. But second portion is how much you will charge to your customer, you tell it. So only customer sales, I am adding it here. क्लियर है यहां तक? Okay, so that brings the end of all the questions. Other questions will always be available with you. I will upload the questions with the answers. Please have a look and discuss. Sister concern point, sir. If it's a sister concern, you are supplying it to somebody and you will not charge GST because it's a sister concern is our assumption. If you have no, even the sister concern means it's a related party, right? So you will not charge GST. That's why we have not included over here. Few are from previous year's questions, Swati, and few are from various other sources. So it is a mixture of everything. Be well prepared for your exams. Do well. As I said, two things, time management and confidence. Time management will come by practice and confidence will come by the level of your learning. Just do these two things. Don't waste any amount of time going, meeting your friends, going for weddings and things. Everything in the world will come again. Your exams is your attempt. This attempt will not come again. Again, of course, you have every 3 to 4 months one exam, but you don't want that to happen. So whatever is your attempt, try to finish off in this attempt and close this exam. Just do away with it. Finals are waiting for you. Just step up the ladder, go to that at the earliest. If amount is paid by supplier but was to be paid by recipient, then it is to be included in the value of supply. If was to be paid by the recipient, if the recipient pays to the GTA directly, Kushi, then I will not include it. But I am paying to the GTA and I have to collect it in my invoice, then I will include it, not otherwise. If amount is to be paid by supplier but was to be paid by the recipient. No, if amount is to be paid by the supplier, that is any amount made, payment made by the receiver on behalf of the supplier has to be added. Yes. Okay, thank you very much. I really enjoyed the sessions and it is all your hard work. I would say that you have come continuously on the Sundays. That is really, really encouraging. Do well for your exams and all the very best for your exams. Take care. Thank you. Thank you, Swati. Thank you, Shoheb. Thank you, Mohit. Thank you, Om Krishnom. All the very best again. Do well for your exams. Yes, sir.